Some transfers break records, others break clubs, and a few break entire fan bases. From Torres scoring once every 5 games to Figo getting a pig's head thrown at him, these are the moves that haunt fans and destroyed dynasties. Today, we're ripping open those wounds and exploring every football transfer fans wish never happened. Neymar's transfer to PSG in 2017. Neymar didn't just leave Barcelona, he detonated them. 222 million release clause triggered via lawyers, zero negotiations. Barcelona panic-bought Dembélé and Coutinho for 300 million combined, creating the financial crisis that nearly killed the club. MSN died on the spot. Messi got depressed, and Barcelona started selling future TV rights to pay wages. Neymar never lifted the Champions League in Paris. After 6 injury-marred seasons, he took a big-money move to Al Hilal in 2023. The birthday parties are still legendary, but the deal remains one of football's most expensive chain reactions, wrecking Barcelona's balance sheet while leaving PSG winning the Champions League in 2025. Luis Figo's transfer to Real Madrid in 2000. Figo was Barcelona's captain, poster boy, and Ballon d'Or winner. Then, Real Madrid's Florentino Perez vowed to trigger Figo's 10 billion peseta buyout clause, roughly 60 million euros at the time, and he got elected on that promise. On 24th July 2000, the money hit La Liga's offices, and Figo walked straight into Madrid with a white shirt. Catalunya felt betrayed. When he returned to the Camp Nou 2 years later, coins, bottles, and even a whole pig's head were thrown at him. Riot police formed shields so he could take corners. The match was halted for more than 10 minutes, and the tension stretched the game well past the 90. Figo collected a Champions League trophy with Madrid in 2002, but he lost Barcelona forever. Fernando Torres' transfer to Chelsea in 2011. Torres went from Liverpool's lethal number 9 to Chelsea's most expensive bench warmer. At Liverpool, 65 goals in 102 games. At Chelsea, 20 league goals in 110 games. That's 1 goal every 5.5 matches, making him less reliable than British weather. Chelsea paid £2.5 million per league goal. Meanwhile, Liverpool turned that $50 million into Suarez on the same deadline day. The Uruguayan scored more goals in one season than Torres managed in 4. The worst part? Torres scored against Barcelona for Chelsea in the Champions League semi-final. The celebration was so muted, even he looked confused. His Chelsea legacy: 1 league goal every 340 minutes. That's about 5 hours and 40 minutes of football per goal. Most people could learn basic Portuguese in that time. Philippe Coutinho's transfer to Barcelona in 2018. Barcelona spent 160 million on Coutinho, then spent 3 years figuring out where to play him. Midfielder? Too slow. Winger? Can't defend. False 9? Too small. They loaned him to Bayern, who used him to destroy Barcelona 8-2 in the Champions League. He literally scored twice and assisted once against the club still paying his wages. That's like your ex using your Netflix password to watch shows with their new partner. While Barcelona scrambled to offload him, Liverpool used his fee to sign Alisson and Van Dijk and went on to win everything. One ended up on Villa's bench, while Barça is still paying installments to Liverpool. Sol Campbell's transfer to Arsenal in 2001. Tottenham's captain joining Arsenal for free is like the Pope converting to Buddhism. Spurs fans packed the streets around White Hart Lane begging him to stay. Campbell slipped out the back. At his Arsenal unveiling, he shrugged, "I'm ambitious." While the entire Tottenham fan base was thinking, so were we. More than 20 years later, Judas chants still echo every North London derby. Within 12 months, he had lifted the Premier League and FA Cup double, salt in an already raw wound. 4 years later, he added an unbeaten Premier League trophy and even scored in a Champions League final. Proof that ambition paid for him, and not for Tottenham. Alexis Sanchez's transfer to Manchester United in 2018. United didn't just sign Sanchez, they signed a financial time bomb. 500k per week for piano videos and Instagram posts with his dogs. 3 league goals in 32 games, 5 goals in 45 games across all competitions. That is about £8 million in wages for every goal he scored. His salary destroyed United's wage structure. Martial wanted parity, De Gea wanted more, and Pogba's agent also started calling. Every contract negotiation became, "But Sanchez earns this." The knock-on effect lasted years after he left. They paid him £9 million to terminate his contract early. Imagine paying someone £9 million to stop working for you. That's not a transfer. That's a masterclass in burning money. Carlos Tevez's transfer to Man City in 2009. It is July 2009, and Carlos Tevez decided to drop a bombshell. He's switching from Manchester United to their bitter rivals, Manchester City. The announcement? A massive sky blue billboard on Deansgate. Welcome to Manchester. Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't amused, calling City the noisy neighbors. But this wasn't just any signing. Tevez had just won 2 league titles and a Champions League at United. Fans who once worshipped him were literally burning his shirts in the streets. City fans didn't care. They had their man. And Tevez delivered. 23 goals in his first season, 20 in his second, sharing the Golden Boot and ending City's 35-year trophy drought with the 2011 FA Cup. Then came the ultimate prize, the 2012 Premier League title, won on goal difference in the most dramatic finish ever. At the victory parade, Tevez held up a homemade sign, R.I.P. Fergie, a brutal message to the manager who'd dismissed City's ambitions. The club apologized, but the damage was done. The noisy neighbors had become champions. Andriy Shevchenko's transfer to Chelsea in 2006. Abramovich bought his favorite player, but Mourinho got his least favorite signing. Sheva was Serie A's Terminator, scoring 173 Milan goals, but the Premier League turned him into a traffic cone. 9 league goals in 48 games. Chelsea changed their entire system to accommodate him. It broke everything. They went from back-to-back titles to trophyless. Mourinho later called it the beginning of the end. The special one's kryptonite was a Ukrainian striker who couldn't adapt to English weather. Even his goals looked apologetic. Robin van Persie's transfer to Man United in 2012. Robin van Persie's 2012 jump from Arsenal's captain to United match winner detonated North London. His open letter and "the little boy inside me was screaming for United" line sparked bonfires of replica shirts outside the Emirates. In his first season at Old Trafford, he delivered 30 goals in 48 games, 26 in the league, collecting the Golden Boot and United's 20th title. Arsenal, suddenly without their talisman, clung to 4th place. When the sides met that November, he scored after 3 minutes, then stood arms spread, soaking in applause while the away end hissed. 1 year after leading Arsenal's line, he was parading a Premier League medal in red. Jonathan Woodgate's transfer to Real Madrid in 2004. Woodgate's Madrid career was medical bills interrupted by football. He cost £13.4 million and then missed his entire first season injured. Debut, after 14 months. An own goal and a red card. Basically turning up late to the party and smashing the cake. He played 14 games in 2 seasons. That's almost £1 million per appearance. The club's medical staff saw Woodgate more than his family. A 2007 Marca poll voted him the worst Galactico of the 21st century. Real Madrid shipped him out on loan to Middlesbrough the very next summer. Pirlo joining Juventus transfer-free in 2011. Milan looked at 32-year-old Pirlo and saw a washed player. Juventus saw a midfield genius with a wine collection. Pirlo helped Juventus win 4 straight Serie A titles, while Milan finished 2nd, 3rd, 8th, and 10th. He controlled games like a puppet master in Armani. Milan's midfield went from Pirlo to Montari. That's like replacing your Ferrari with a shopping cart. They literally gave away the architect of modern Italian football for nothing. Allegri later admitted it was the worst decision in Milan's history. Considering they once signed Figo, that's saying something. Ronaldo's transfer to Juventus in 2018. Cristiano Ronaldo's leap to Juventus in July 2018 still feels like football's biggest plot twist of all time. Real Madrid's record scorer left after a 3rd straight Champions League, drawn by a €100 million fee and a 4-year deal worth roughly €31 million net per season. Juventus's math looked easy. Sign the tournament's king, lift the trophy. Ronaldo delivered 101 goals in 134 games, 2 Scudetti, and a Serie A MVP, but Europe stayed out of reach. Ajax bounced them in a 2019 quarterfinal. Lyon and Porto followed it up in the next 2 years. His salary blew a crater in the payroll, and in 2024, an arbitration panel ordered Juventus to pay another €9.8 million in wages. Meanwhile, Real Madrid lifted the Champions League again in 2022 and 2024. Ronaldo soared. The club stalled, a superstar move that proved even legends can land in the wrong place. Moisés Caicedo's transfer to Chelsea in 2023. £115 million, the biggest fee English football had ever seen. Brighton cashed the check, Chelsea awaited a midfield savior. Instead, Caicedo's first year ended with Chelsea 6th, trophyless, and still watching the Champions League on TV. Brighton flipped the windfall. £25 million for Carlos Baleba. £17 million each for keeper Bart Verbruggen and defender Igor Julio, plus a low-risk loan for Ansu Fati. 4 fresh starters for the price of 1 sale. Caicedo's single price tag topped all the money Jose Mourinho spent assembling Chelsea's 2004 title-winning squad. He is still only 23, Plenty of time to justify the outlay. But so far, the British record gamble is football's loudest reminder that cash buys talent, not instant chemistry. Gareth Bale's transfer to Real Madrid in 2013. Spurs fans loved him. Madrid fans loved hating him. World record fee for a player who preferred golf instead of football. Madrid paid about 100 million euros and expected a Galactico who lived for the Bernabeu. Bale gave them trophies first, sprinting past Barça to win the 2014 Copa del Rey, then deciding the 2014 and 2018 Champions League finals with extra time and overhead kick goals. Injuries and his private life shifted the mood. By 2019, he posed behind a flag reading Wales Golf Madrid, in that order, reinforcing doubts about his commitment to the club. He was a regular match winner throughout the Ronaldo years, but after the Portuguese star left, Bale's minutes shrinked. A 2021 loan back to Spurs could not restart his Bernabeu career, and when his contract expired in June 2022, it ended a 9-year career at Real Madrid.